Seasoned with Grace Unbox presents Tune Up Tuesdays. This live weekly event is here to provide you and your family with tools for stronger family relationships. And now, here are your hosts, Doctors Robert and Denise Davis.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tune Up Tuesdays, presented by Seasoned with Grace Unboxed. We hope that you're ready to dive into today's subject, maintaining an active relationship with the key members of the family. So let's get started. Robert, can you recap for us, please?
It'll be my pleasure. Murray Bowens in the book Family Therapy and Clinical Practice talks about some of the elements that makes for a healthy family as well as for us to grow individually. He says, when any key member of the family can accurately observe what is going on in their family, as well as the part that they play in it, when they can control their own emotional reactions, when they can avoid counterattacking when they're provoked, and when they can maintain an active relationship with the other key members of their family without withdrawing, emotionally checking out, or becoming silent, the entire system will change in a series of predictable steps. This is the essence of predicting change in the family system. This is the method of coaching one person through the predictable functionings of their family system and supervising their efforts to modify their functioning in all other relationships.
Okay, so for the last 2 weeks, we have been talking about staying in active relationship with key members of our family. I shared my struggle with withdrawing from a family member that I feel frustrated or the emotional engagement becomes too overwhelming.
I remember we gave this family member the pseudonym Angie. So when you hear that name Angie, you'll know what we're talking about.
Okay, so I'm guessing many of our viewers also struggle withdrawing from the fool and the foolishness. Right?
I like that aspect.
But we have to recognize that this is counterproductive.
We need to understand that our family is a system. When we talk about this is counterproductive, we're talking about withdrawing. Because our family is a system, and that's something we really need to understand. You can choose to withdraw from a person, but two things are still true.
What's that?
First, you're still part of your family system, withdrawn or not. You were born into a system, and it is what it is. So you are part of it. Even if everyone in your family dies, there's an emotional program that was placed into it. First of all, just through a DNA. You cannot erase the DNA of who you are. Your eye color, your skin complexion, your hair texture, all of those things. You can get all the plastic surgery in the world, but when they draw your DNA, you are still a part of that family.
It's in the teeth.
It is in the teeth, that's right. You were born, and so it is what it is. So you're always going to be a part of the family system. And the second thing is withdrawing doesn't remove you from the emotional programming. So the biological programming or the emotional program that you've received from your family. Withdrawing just becomes a way to react within your family's emotional programming. So it's not changing anything. It is just simply, this is the way that I am reacting within my family's emotional system.
Okay, well, I've discovered that when I think about my family as a system and not just a collection of disjointed human beings, I can see what's happening in my family a lot clearer.
That's true. The way that I visualize it is like this. iPhone has an operating system and Samsung has an operating system. And this is a good conversation because I have an iPhone and Denise has a Samsung.
First Android, don't like it, whatever.
Oh, okay. She said that, not me. So when Samsung, when you sue us, sue her, not me. Okay. The way you access programs, talking about, each one has their own operating system. And the way you access programs on one phone may be different than on another phone, but you're still functioning within that operating system. So, you can, and one of the things that she does like about Samsung is that it's very customizable. And so you can move stuff around, you can delete, you can make your home page any kind of way that you want it to look. And that is a benefit. One thing I like about the iPhone system is that I'm not a tech person. At least I don't like doing a whole lot of tech with my phone and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I prefer just to get on it, push one button, and it kind of does what I want to. I don't need to customize stuff. I just need to be able to push one button and move on.
I like the pretty wallpapers.
Yeah. So whether you like the pretty wallpapers and redesigning and all that stuff, whatever you do, you are doing it within that operating system.
Right.
The question then becomes, what is the most productive way to function within this operating system? What is the most productive way to function in this operating system?
You know what? I like the way how Roberta Gilbert explains it. Unless we think about family as a unit, we tend to get frustrated and angry with others and to use those feelings as a justification to use those feelings as a justification for calling their families sick and cutting off from them.
Wow.
So let me jump in here before I read on, right?
Okay.
So if you think about it, when we say that another member in our family system is the problem, what does that say about us? After all, we are a part of that system.
Yeah, and that's a very accurate point that you make there. If other members of the family are messed up, so if my wife is messed up, if my children are messed up, if my brothers and sisters are messed up, then that says there's something wrong with the entire system, which ultimately says there's something wrong with me.
Because we're interacting with you. We're maintaining a relationship with you and you're maintaining a relationship with us. Yeah. So it's reciprocal.
So when you take the iPhone or the Samsung in for repair, they're going to look at more than just one program, or they're going to look at more than just one app or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're going to look at the entire system. What is going on with the system as to why the phone is crashing, or what's going on with the system as to why it's not accessing the internet, or whatever other, why the phone isn't ringing or whatever. There's something going on. So they want to look at from a systems perspective.
Right.
And so to accuse or just to blame our family doesn't solve the larger problem.
Mm-hmm. So conversely, Roberta, she goes on to say, conversely, when some feel guilty about letting their families down and they simply withdraw.
So it kind of looks like it's from two sides of it. Whether it's I'm frustrated with my family or I've let my family down, either way, you're still operating within that family system.
That's true. So I really want to drive this point home, though. Whatever you and another family member are going through is a manifestation of the family's emotional system. Withdrawing does not solve the problem in the family system.
Withdrawing from a person, to piggyback off what you're saying, Denise, withdrawing from a person or persons in my family may help me, and I really want you to catch this. It may help me manage the intensity of the emotional reactivity I'm feeling. So withdrawing only helps to lower the intensity of what I'm currently feeling. But it doesn't improve my skills in managing these same challenges in other or similar relationships.
Wow. Okay.
Withdrawing may help me manage the emotional reactivity I'm feeling, but it doesn't help future generations learn how to cope with emotional stress.
Wow.
And withdrawing may help me manage the emotional reactivity that I'm feeling, but it doesn't help me impact the emotional maturity of the person I'm withdrawing from or for the entire family system. So it's not helping me to become mature. It's not helping future generations. It's not helping the individual. All it is just a momentary, temporary fix. It doesn't really get to the heart of things. Actually, if I'm going to bring about change in myself or the other family member who is the fool or who is doing the foolishness, if I'm going to change myself or that family member or the family system, I have to remain connected, and I also have to be intentional. And so, Denise, I don't want to pick on you, and I know that we've been using you and Angie for the last few weeks, but I just want to dive into that one more time before we close out. But as you look back on your withdrawing from Angie, and again, Angie is a fake person, or is a fake name. As you look back on withdrawing from Angie, has it brought about the change that you were looking for in yourself? Has it brought about the change that you're looking for in Angie? Has it brought about the change that you were looking for in your extended family? And if you can answer that, then elaborate.
Other relationships. No, and it's funny how you say that, because my daughter and I, the youngest one at least, was having a conversation this evening, and me telling her about how to express herself to someone that she doesn't like their actions. And I tell her, you know, you're young, you need to learn it now, learn this skill now, because you're going to encounter things like this in the future. And so the earlier you learn it, the better, the easier it is to do it. And she asked me the question, so does XYZ or anyone gets on your nerves, how do you handle it? And if you don't handle it, then why should I handle it? Can I respond the same way? I'm like, oh gosh. So to give you the short answer, no, it hasn't helped me or Andrew become a more mature person, I guess, emotionally. It's not helping future generation. And what was the third one?
That was the third one. So it seems as if as our children and as others within the family system pick up on our techniques and tendencies, it has a way of perpetuating the very counterproductive behaviors that we're trying to avoid.
No matter what we tell them, right? Because we can show them better than we can tell them.
We can show them better than we can tell them. And then if you think about it, if we develop, and this is somewhat of extreme, but it happens, you know, if we develop this cut-off tendency or this withdrawing tendency, then what happens when our daughter or our sons and our son and I have issues? Then
will he withdraw?
Will he withdraw? Because that now becomes the pattern that we use in our family to deal with conflicts.
Well, you know what? From this exercise, I have thought it was just that one person. But when I talk to my daughter and she's basically asking me what to do, and if this is how I handle situations, I'm now cognizant to make sure I define myself, that I'm a better self. And that I start using these techniques that, you know, I've always known that confrontation is not bad, but it has to be done.
It has to be
Not
done.
but it has to be done.
You know what? I've been picking on you and Angie for the last 3 weeks, and so for that you deserve and you have earned a kiss. I mean, you can ask, there's no other greater gift. I could have bought her a Lamborghini, but there was nothing greater than that kiss that she just received. So Denise, we've come to the end of the show, and it's time to get into our homework. And so I'm going to give you the homework very quickly. I want you to journal your response to the following questions. The first one is, what family members do you find yourself withdrawing from? What family members do you find yourself withdrawing from? The second one is, what is it about these members that leads you to withdraw or leads you to cut off from them? And then the third question is, where else do you see withdrawing and cutoffs in your family system? So as you look at your entire family, where else do you see withdrawing and cutoffs in your family system? You may notice that you have aunts that have cut off from the family, et cetera, et cetera. So let me give you the homework one more time. I want you to journal your response to the following questions. What family members do you find yourself withdrawing from? What is it about these family members that leads you to withdraw? And where else do you see withdrawing and cutoffs in your family system?
Wow. Okay, that's going to be a nice homework. Okay, well, thank you for joining us this week. We will be back here next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tune Up Tuesdays, because even the smoothest running families need a Tune Up Tuesday. So see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you for watching Tune Up Tuesday. You can connect with us on Facebook or check out our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org. Again, thank you for watching, and tune in next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another insightful episode of Tune Up Tuesday. Seasoned with Grace Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.